Warner Brothers is trying to get Superman right, again. But do you trust them? Let's find out in the first part of our two-part look at James Gunn's Superman. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. WBD is trying yet again to get the DC Universe right, and the first step to a good DC is a great Superman. Pulling the world's greatest hero out from the clutches of bumbling hacks like Bryan Singer and Zack Snyder, especially Zack Snyder, the WB is trying their hand with Guardians of the Galaxy's James Gunn, and we're going to take a look at that with a two-part series examining a potential plot leak and photos of David Corenswet in action as the Man of Steel. With news of David Corenswet, who I had never heard of before now, starring as Superman, and one less than stellar promo photo hitting the official channels, a lot of people are wondering whether this could actually be good. And no one wants it to be good more than your favorite monster right here. Superman is my favorite superhero and my favorite fictional character in general. And watching what this pervert and this Chudley dud did to the last son of Krypton broke my heart. After some set photos were recently leaked online, a supposed insider has come forward with a potential synopsis for this movie, originally named Superman Legacy, and now just called Superman. Now, this is a rumor. I've got no idea if it's real or not, but let's have a look together and give our thoughts on what might be as we go up, up, and away with the Man of Steel. So, from our friends over at That Park Place and John Trent, the editor-in-chief over there, alleged plot details have been revealed for James Gunn's Superman film. And here we see Superman boldly putting on his shoes while Vegeta fires the Gallic gun at the Earth. You might want to get a move on that clock, but you know what? We'll talk about it. So, alleged plot details have been shared for James Gunn's upcoming Superman film, which was originally announced to be called Superman Legacy, but has now been renamed into just Superman. I'm so thankful they went with Superman and not James Gunn's Superman, like they did with Suicide Squad, where it was James Gunn's Suicide Squad. That would be terrible. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Ugh. According to an ex-user, Rejected Scooper, the film will see Superman stand out from other heroes given he has a no-kill rule, while Lex Luthor is a war profiteer. Man, won't that be nice to have a Superman that doesn't kill people? The scoop states, other superheroes are edgy and kill when necessary. Superman is an outcast among them for his optimism and no-kill rule, and ultimately inspires them to change their ways. See, I like that. I like him being an inspiration, an inspirational force in the world. That's what Superman needs to be. Now, Lex Luthor is war profiteering on an armed conflict in a foreign nation, which is called Jarhanporia per IMDb. Can't wait to see how to pronounce that. Maybe Yaranporia. I don't know. It sounds like, I think it's gonna be like an Eastern. It was supposed to be a Middle Eastern country, and then that got changed to an Eastern European country. So I don't know. Apparently, conflict in the Middle East, we need to shy away from because of what's going on over there. But conflict in East Europe, there's no conflict in East Europe right now, right, guys? Goes on to say, Superman intervenes in the conflict, and the U.S. government deploys a clone created by Lex Luthor dubbed Ultraman to arrest him. Ultraman deteriorates ultimately into Bizarro Superman and goes rogue. Superman and his super friends must stop him, while Lois Lane and the Daily Planet staff work hard to expose Luthor for his crimes. The scoop concludes with movie reportedly ends with Superman revealing his secret identity to Lois, Luthor avoiding repercussions for his crimes and announcing he's running for president, and Supergirl arriving on Earth, plus other DCU setups like the Engineer getting recruited into the Authority. I don't know. That's pretty cool. I like the idea of this plot. So here we go. It skirts right up against something that I hate. The trope that I despise more than anything in the world, folks, is evil Superman. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It worked in the first Injustice game, but since then, everything has got evil Superman in it. Everything. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of people not being able to accept the fact that Superman is a force for good in the world. Yes, it would be terrible if Superman was evil. I get it. But stop focusing on it. It's not reality. But if you're going to do an evil Superman, the only way to do it, I believe, is Bizarro. Even Ultraman kind of skirts that for me. Now, Bizarro, interestingly enough, was just done in Superman and Lois, and they did it really well. They actually had Bizarro being from Bizarro World, which was like a cube-shaped Earth that's like the inverse of our Earth, and everything's backwards and everything like that. It's pretty cool. Like they didn't go like the whole Bizarro so happy to end, or everything he says is opposite. So he's like, me am sad to see you when he's glad to see him. The Superman the Animated Series did it really, really well. But then that Bizarro deteriorated into Doomsday, and this is going to be Ultraman deteriorating into Bizarro, and I like that. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a good way to do this. It's way better than the way they did it in Smallville, where it was just like another Clark Kent.
I'm you, only a little more bizarre.
And I like that it ends with if this is true, it ends with President Lex, which is great. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that Marvel is going to beat DC with Mayor Kingpin before they got to President Luthor. This should have been years ago if anyone with half a brain was in charge of DC over there. And of course, this movie is coming out July 11th, 2025. So we're about only a little more than a year away from this, folks. I'm sure we'll be talking about a lot on this channel. So now a set photo does show Superman being arrested by what looks to be government officials and a masked superhero that could be Ultraman. So let's take a look at that here. We've got this right here, and we see Superman. I don't love the Kingdom Come. We're going to go over the costume in the next video. We're going to do a whole thing about the set leaks going on here. I believe that's supposed to be Rick Flag. They're off to his right, our left. And then we've got Ultraman there, which I believe, he's bigger than Superman, which I don't know how he'd be a clone unless they're making Ultraman like a bigger version of him, or maybe he gets bigger with time and that's how he becomes Bizarro. Like if they made, I don't want Bizarro to just be David Corenswet in like makeup. I want Bizarro to actually be like a big hulking monster the way he should be, if that's the way they're going. But that does look like it could be Ultraman. And the armed conflict from the foreign nation appears to confirm previous rumors from, Grace Randolph, who shared in 2023 that the film would feature a conflict in the Middle East. Superman wants to stop it one way, other heroes disagree, and then that was So Grace said, okay, here we go. Superman legacy conflict in the Middle East. Superman wants to stop it one way, other heroes disagree. Lex Luthor is also trying to negotiate peace in his own way. The authority was a misdirect. Clever. It's actually a JSA type team, or the actual JSA. Randolph then claimed in February that the conflict in the Middle East was rewritten to be located in Eastern Europe instead. I hear a certain DC movie switch its conflict from the Middle East to Eastern Europe. That's how she talks, folks. If you've never heard it before, do yourself a favor, take my word for it, don't go look it up. You're welcome. In fact, actor Bassem Youssef also claimed that the film script was changed. He was cast in the role, and then he was uncast in the role. He claims that it was due to a Piers Morgan interview, but apparently it was just based on them changing the script. So it was apparently they said that the character was written out before his Piers Morgan interview, and James Gunn confirmed that that was accurate. So there we go, folks. That is the plot. Let me tell you something, folks. If this is actually the plot, if this is what we're going to see from this movie, I'm in. That sounds great. A movie where Superman doesn't kill people. A movie where Superman is a force for good. A movie where Superman inspires other heroes. I'm in on that. Where Lex Luthor isn't some weirdo little tween daddy issue boy with like some weird god complex. Whatever they were going for with Batman versus Superman. Zack Snyder sucks. And F the Snyderverse. If you're listening to this and you're a Snyderverse fan, don't subscribe to this channel because you're not going to like what I say. I think Zack Snyder is the worst thing that has ever happened to not only DC and Warner Brothers, but Hollywood as a whole. But yeah, that is unfortunately like where we're at, where the line is like, I just want a movie where he smiles and doesn't kill people. Like that's kind of the point where we're at now, folks. So as long as it's that, I'm okay with it. And in the next video, we are going to take a look at, what the costume looks like, how he looks as Superman, how he looks as Clark. And yeah, so this is going to be a two-parter, folks. So make sure you stick tuned and you're subscribed with the bell icon so that you get notified of the next video when we talk about this costume and what I like about it, what I don't like about it, because there's plenty on both sides of that equation. So there you have it. Again, I have no idea if this is real or not, but if it is, I'm open to this idea. It's a little too close to Evil Superman for my taste, sure, but I like the Bizarro angle they're taking on it, so I'm definitely going to be open for this being the direction of DC as we kick off the James Gunn era. In our next video, we'll have a look at some of the set photos, taking a closer look at what our new friend David looks like in the suit. There's even a picture of him as Clark Kent, which we'll have a look at. A lot of people are talking about it online. I'm sure it can't be that bad, and it's, No, it can't be. No!
TK, Johnny,